You don't wanna get mad at your new racket and end up doing this, do you? Is your racket really that important for a good smash? Today I'm gonna share the 5 best tips to buy your paddle racket, make the right choice and save money. Hello players, I'm Pablo and I welcome you to a new 4Set. Did you know that there are rackets with Swarovski crystals that cost over 700 euros? Well, in my opinion, buying such an expensive racket is kind of stupid. And here is the first tip, because don't forget that it's not the ball, it's the archer. So let's be honest, because paddle rackets haven't evolved that much in the last 30 years. There is still just a piece of rubber covered by carbon and glass fibers. So paying that much money for this combo seems a bit exaggerated to me. And especially considering that there are many rackets for a lot less that are just as good or even better. And if you don't believe me, how is Paquito able to do this?
Ahí va.
Well, 95% of the time what we need to improve is our technique and tactics, and the racket doesn't make much of that difference. We also cannot expect to find the perfect racket because the perfect racket simply doesn't exist. For example, imagine you are an engineer trying to design a new racket, but you only have 100 points to distribute across different racket features. So you could give 60 points to power, but then it won't have as much control. So there is no racket that is perfect in power, control, agility, etc. all at once. But what is perfect is if you subscribe to the channel, because that makes me happy and you will learn something new about paddle every day. Second tip, look for rackets from previous seasons. For 2025, several brands have already presented the new rackets. For example, Bull Paddle has launched Fede Chingoto's new 2025 racket, and the only change aside from the design is the 3D roughness. However, you can still find Chingoto's 2024 racket for 120 euros less. So is it really worth buying the new one just for that change? Well, actually this happens a lot with many different brands. So that is why you should always check whether the new rackets actually offer a significant improvement or not. If they don't, the previous season's racket will be much cheaper. Even the iPhone works like this. Apple releases a new iPhone every year, but the differences compared to the previous model are almost insignificant. So would you rather buy the new iPhone or save 400 euros and get last year's model? Well, third tip, be smart and buy at the right time. In paddle, there are key moments when you can get rackets at much lower prices than usual. For example, one of those moments is Black Friday, which is coming up soon. So if you can wait to buy your racket until then, you could easily save an extra 20%. And if you want an extra 10% off, use the code 4Set on Paddle Market. No matter where you live, you will save money and you'll support the channel, which I appreciate. Well, generally new rackets don't discount, but if you go for a previous season's racket, it's the perfect time. And beyond Black Friday, you need to know when each brand launches their new rackets. For example, Bull Paddle and Nox always do it in September, while Adidas and Babolat do it in December. When these brands release their new rackets, stores discount the current year's models to clear out stock. Well, let's go to the fourth tip, and one of my favorites. Do you want to enhance or complement your game? Imagine you are a super offensive player who loves smashing because the smash is your best shot. So here you have two options: enhance your game or complement your game. If you choose to enhance it, your racket should be 100% offensive. That means a hard racket with high balance and a high sweet spot. But if you want to complement your game, you should look for a racket that reduces your weaknesses. There you can go for a hybrid racket that's not too hard, has a medium balance and helps you defend better. And clear example here is Martin Dineno. Dineno is one of the best defensive players in the world. His love is his best shot and it's almost impossible to win a point against him. But what is Dineno's biggest weakness? The attack. So what did Bull Paddle do? Well, actually they made him what they claim is the most powerful Bull Paddle racket ever. But a different case is Arturo Coello. Coello is one of the most offensive players and hits the ball harder than anyone. So what did he do? Well, they made him the most powerful racket possible to enhance his game. Obviously, this is a personal decision and there's not a right answer. But try to be smart and think about how many lofts or volley you hit per match versus how many smashes. Because many people go crazy for a powerful racket, not realizing that this smash is often an aspirational shot. For example, Agustin Tapia uses a more balanced racket with a hybrid shape and a medium hardness. Is it a super powerful racket? Well, no, it has the best control? Not really. But it is a solid 9 in everything, which complements Tapia's game without excelling in anything but also without holding him back. Let's go to the fifth tip, that is, don't trust the pro players' rackets. And what I mean is that many times the pros don't use the same racket that you and I can buy. And a lot of these changes are impossible to notice at first glance. For example, the most common change is switching the rubber inside the racket, usually for a harder one. These harder rubbers are not even sold by brands because they are so demanding. But these changes completely modify the racket's performance compared to the retail version. The problem, in my opinion, is that brands don't mention this and sell the racket as Paquito. For example, we're using the same one, which is not true. And then there are other cases where the pro uses a completely different racket and you can see the difference right away. Actually, does that sound familiar? Let me know in the comments. Well, these modifications are understandable because the pros need a special performance from their rackets. Because remember, they train and compete almost every day. Actually, in fact, the average number of rackets a pro player uses per season is between 15 and 30. That means they're using between 2 or 3 new rackets a month, something impossible for the rest of us. Well, and I have a bonus tip. Consider where you play. Because it's not the same playing paddle in Madrid as it is in Amsterdam or Doha. Rackets vary a lot in performance depending on the temperature and humidity. For example, I live in Madrid and when I do a review, my experience is based on the conditions here. But you need to know that the hotter it gets, the softer the racket becomes and you lose control, for instance. While in colder weather, the racket becomes stiffer and has less ball output. And actually it doesn't just affect the racket but also the ball. So for example, a smash in Madrid will be more effective than in Doha due to the humidity and the extra weight of the ball. So therefore, analyze the materials of the racket you want to buy to understand how it will perform where you play. For example, if you like hard rackets and live in a cold place, don't buy an already super hard racket, for example. Well, do you have any question about buying your next racket? Drop it in the comments and thank you so much for watching the video. See you in the next one. Ciao!